the IG live. So.
Alright, hey everybody, this is Roger that episode 2 with my motherfucker, my goo Niles Abston.
Woo! What up?
Hell yeah, man, this is our take 2 because we've been having a little technical difficulty here at the Creative Media Room at Cal State Northridge. But the people here are fucking so nice and they were able to help us get down and talk this good shit coming straight to you live on whatever day it is.
You don't know what day you gonna put this out?
Oh, no, I know what day I'm going to put it out. I just don't know what day it is today. I mean, I kind of know it says Thursday at the top of this desktop, but...
I get it. We high. All the days run together, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, we prepared before we came here. We drank some beer and smoked the blunt, so that's as good as it gets, man. I love that my homie Niles is here, man. This is a pleasure having you here.
Man, I'm glad to be here. That's so nice of you to say, bro. That's the nicest shit anybody said to me today. Thank you, man.
Hey, bro, it's a pleasure, man, because Niles is a fucking... badass motherfucker. If you don't know, man, he's on the comedy scene, rocking all these mics, man. If you don't know, now you know.
Now you know, man. I'm glad to be in college again. I dropped out. I dropped out in 2015. And it's been grinding since then. So it's just good to see some college girls. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's all.
In the city, the girls got too much confidence. You know what I'm saying? At college, girls are like, have sex with you in the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, girls in college they've been humbled because we're all poor. They got an exam tomorrow. They got to study.
Yeah, bro, their standards is a lot lower, man. You ain't even gotta have
standards are so much lower, dude.
Bro, you don't even have to have a job, bro. You can just be.
Women in the real world expect shit. I'm struggling, man. It's just like in LA, like all the girls are older than me. Cause I'm only 23. I'm a baby.
Yeah, hell yeah,
like,
bro.
If I was here every day, I'd be like the man.
Oh, bro, I hear you. You be the man, bro. At 23, you'd be like, people look up to you, be like, wow, you've been through so much.
Dog.
And you have been, bro. You've been fucking murdered, bro. We've been together. We've been out in these mics, bro. And then you've been killing it on the writing scene. Tell us more about that.
Man, I'm trying, dog. We put 2 little projects on Comedy Central this week. It was really exciting. I went to New York a couple months ago.
Oh, that's so cool, man. Who's we? Who we talking about?
Roy Wood Jr., man.
Damn, Roy.
Yeah, Roy is dope. He's become a friend of mine, working with him. He's a correspondent on The Daily Show, for the listeners that don't know that, on Comedy Central. He's a really good comedian. He's got a special coming out January 25th, Friday night at 11. So he has some sketches that he wanted to do as promo for a special that kind of like played off of his jokes.
Yeah.
And so he sent me some ideas. I wrote some stuff up for him, and then we punched it up together. Flew me out to New York, and we shot him. It was crazy. It was a real surreal process, man. It was.
If you haven't already, they are out right now, and they're some of the funniest sketches you are gonna see in 2019 already.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, the first one that it's about cops snitching on each other for money. It's real funny. It's already got like 400,000 views.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Fun. And then we dropped a Marvel parody, The Avengers, today.
Oh man, we were drinking in the car and smoking some weed as we do before the mic.
Incriminating.
Exactly, bro. Gooning up as best.
We doing it, but yeah, it was dope. I mean, it's already got like 60,000 views and they dropped it today. So it's cool to see. I've never done something on this big of a scale where so many people can give their feedback. So it's just crazy, like, he's seeing, like, hundreds of comments and stuff, and, like, famous people and comedians I respect that like Roy, so they watch the thing, and they're like, man, this is funny. It's like, yo, I helped write that. So it's like
hell yeah.
Dope feeling. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what comes next with it. Hopefully, I just hope he, gets so many people to watch the special. So, Roy's dope, man.
Roy's really dope, man. He's fucking been rocking it for a great minute as a great comedian throughout the whole fucking thing, man.
For sure.
And to him to have fucked with you, man, is a fucking blessing. And you are fucking there, talented, and fucking killing it alongside,
Thank you, man. I
bro.
appreciate it. Yeah,
I be at the mics with Roy's good too, but I be at the mics with Niles, man. He be the best motherfucker at the improv mic. That's 30 motherfuckers. What y'all motherfuckers got?
Hey, man, that was a fun night at the improv. Shout out to the improv for letting us come do our thing at the mic and everything.
Oh, man, my homie blew that shit up, bro. It was like, what was it, Labor Day, or MLK Day, the day before, or like the next week?
Yeah, MLK Day was the next day, so I did my little MLK Day joke.
Which is hilarious. Look, people, when you follow Niles on Instagram, he's gonna be on shows. You got to go watch him because his bits are fire.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Fire as bits. You've also been working alongside some other crew. I hear you guys are calling yourself Goonsquad. What's up,
The
Cribs?
Goonsquad, man. They go check that out right now. Channel 310 YouTube. We put a 45-minute sketch comedy special on YouTube, man. Like nobody's doing that on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a TV ordeal, and
It's
we put it
big.
out there. 45 minutes is just straight comedy and sketches. We shot it over about a span of a couple weeks. Had fun. I mean, it's just It was just so dope just to have fun with your friends and create something at the same time.
It was amazing. Especially, I was in the room for a lot of the scenes where like there were the old men, and it was one of my
Yeah.
favorite times hanging out with like the fucking like set and being there.
For
Because
sure.
like these
Yeah.
motherfuckers were like Victor Martinez, the other goon, he came through making
the
them out.
makeup.
Did the makeup. So Niles, Arthur, and Chaz look like great old people. You gotta watch it on YouTube. And they play the part well. They fucking, it's hilarious.
Yeah, I've definitely this year I'm trying to get more into playing characters. I want to add that to my arsenal of comedy weapons, you know. And playing an old nigga is fun as shit.
You play a good old
Because like
motherfucker.
you could kind of just say whatever the fuck you want. Because old people are crazy as hell, especially like old black people. Like a lot of people don't know this, but like old black people are the worst old people.
Why is that now?
So here's the thing: old black people have a very interesting relationship with America. Like think about it. Like their great grandparents could have been slaves.
Very
the
true.
old black people right now, their great grandparents could have been slaves, and so that means the amount of racism these niggas have experienced.
Oh damn!
Like their most racist moment or whatever's happened to them, I will never experience because they went through it for me. You know, thank God.
Thank God.
And so, like, I mean, my grandmother was 20 something before she even had the right to vote.
God
You know what I'm saying?
damn!
My grandmother vividly remembers not being able to go to certain restaurants, drinking out of colored water fountains. So when you have these old black people that have had all that shit happen to them, they say whatever they want at all times, bro. Like I tell this joke about how I was riding with an Uber, and this old black dude, he had a card that said he was like a former bus driver, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool, man. My aunt, she drives buses," and he was like, "Yeah, old niggas can't just greet at Walmart no more." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, they gave all them jobs to the retards," and I was like, "What? Like you can't say that." But he used to drink out of a water fountain that said color. Can I tell him to be PC? You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
So, old black people, they just say whatever they want, man.
Hey man, they're keeping it the 100% that they need to
100%.
be.
They will check you at any time.
Oh man, and they have to, man. They're fucking badasses because they have endured the bullshit that the government and the white oppressors have put us
Yeah,
through.
man.
And put your grandparents through and your ancestors through, man.
true.
It's a motherfucker, man.
I'm sure old Mexican people have their share of opinions too.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. We were fucking making tortillas for nothing, bro. They were fucking stealing all our corn, everything, man. Bro, we used to fucking have the area by Dodger Stadium, man. If you didn't know that, that was called the, oh shit. Look who just walked inside the studio. We got Darren King D City Davis on the ones and twos. What's up, Darren? All right, we can hear him. That's good, man. These mics are fucking professional. I appreciate CSUN for like letting us goon up in here because we some motherfuckers.
Goon casting, baby.
Goon casted. So, folks, I think we're about that time. So today's episode on Roger That, episode 2, we're going to talk about crazy shit as we do always. That's what I want to bring to you guys. Just the best information and just to open everybody's mind, really. I'm not saying believe what we're saying. I'm just saying look into it. If not, believe what we're saying.
Everything we say is true and correct.
Facts. Because it's not like we're trying to say facts, but we're also just trying to say, like, isn't this plausible? And then you would be like, you know what? That might be true. So for today's episode, we're going to talk about whether or not dinosaurs are real. Now, so we've talked about it a few times throughout, like, our friendship. And we both know where we come from on this topic, but I just want to be, like, informative for everybody. So now, what have you heard about this crazy theory that people say that, like, dinosaurs aren't real?
Well, I first got hip to it about a couple years ago, and I laughed at the guy that I heard say it, but then I started thinking about it, like, maybe they didn't, maybe they didn't exist. And so I started looking up some things where, like, you can look it up. It even, like, there's so many journals that even say, like, no one even talked about dinosaurs or even heard of them until the 1800s. I mean, it was first pointed out until, like, 1824. William Buckland, the first reader in the geology at Oxford University. He provided the scientific description of a dinosaur. And so that was the first time. And I'm just like, we went that long without anybody ever telling a story about a dinosaur. Sounds a little fishy to me, man.
It sounds a whole lot fishy, especially when you consider the time he published whatever he published. Because we gotta understand that another motherfucker was in town when this motherfucker put out that theory, and that motherfucker put out an even better theory that had more research and more credibility behind it.
Right.
And that was Charles Darwin.
Yeah.
That motherfucker around that time just released the origin of species, or whatever the fuck the book's called. And in this book, he had all this information, whatever he had. But other people were also trying to like ride that train. We're like, oh yeah, if he's gonna say that these motherfuckers existed and they evolved, I'm gonna invent some other shit.
Malik B just commented on the Instagram. I gotta shout out to Malik B.
Malik B's
He
hilarious.
said this angle trash. I'm like, nigga, I don't have a stand for my phone. I can't afford one. Can y'all hear that?
Oh, Darren, what you playing, bro? What's that? Why the fuck you lying? Official? Darren, we're trying to talk about dinosaurs not being real. Look, why is it that after how many years have us humans been on this earth? At least 200,000 years.
At least.
So you're going to tell me just in the last 200, all these white oppressors have found... I'm calling it how it is, man, because you know why? Because you fucking point... Because you point... Jared, please. Look, man, how the fuck are you going to tell me after 200,000 years not a single tribe or civilization has ever documented a fucking T-Rex?
Exactly. Dinosaurs don't exist, bro.
They don't exist, and there's a lot of points to it, man. First, like we were starting off, like the main motherfucker that started it was like some dude who was in reality just trying to ride the wave of Charles Darwin's new success, which he actually put a lot of input into and research. This motherfucker, a lot of motherfuckers just trying to make money, man. Just like now, bro. Everybody's trying to make money.
Everybody's trying to make money.
You know what somebody did as well when the Aztecs calendar in 2012 was like, oh, bro, we're going to die. The whole world's going to come to an end.
And they made a movie about it.
They made a movie. I saw news outlets like documenting like this white person's book. It's like, what's this white person going to know about the end of the world? He's just trying to fool the rest of you to buy the book before 2012. I bet he hasn't sold a single book past 2012. Because it's all just bullshit,
right?
Bro.
And it's just crazy how something like why are dinosaurs one of the things that is like taught to us as kids to make sure like we believe it. You know, it's almost a little weird how it's ingrained. It's kind of like how they ingrain in us like how important like the American forefathers are, and then in your 20s and 30s you learn that they were just raping and enslaving everybody. Like
you're like, yeah, well, why do we have them on our money if they were such pieces of shit, right? And then we claim to be so PC, we're gonna fucking prosecute Kevin Hart for like saying gay this, gay that, but we still got Benjamin Franklin on the bill. And you know what? Most of these slave fucking founding father owners, all they did was when they died, they released their slaves. But that's not because they really felt that they needed to be free. That's because they were scared that they were going to die and go to hell for owning other civilians. That should have been free, and they knew that should have been free.
And then kind of like with how the museums go with the dinosaur bones. They've never put together a full skeleton of any dinosaur. That's never been a thing, ever.
Never. It's all been a beautiful, beautiful imagination, creativity.
It's all imagination because they literally can take a bone that they find in one place and then go to another, maybe even another country or city or whatever, and find a bone from another place. And be like, oh, these kind of look similar. Put them together, and then all of a sudden they got a million bones and a whole dinosaur skeleton. That doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense.
We wouldn't let people do that with anything else. And I think it's the whole thing because even though it's something that literally, if dinosaurs didn't exist and we proved that, it really wouldn't affect the world much. But I think because it's something that's taught to us as a child, like we want to believe it, so we'll create anything in our head, imaginative-wise, to make sure dinosaurs exist. So, like, even when somebody's just like, man, dinosaurs don't exist, and here's, like, different kinds of proof to prove it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you like, oh, you're crazy. Why would you? But, dude, I'm just saying an animal didn't exist that you've never seen. you've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, you've never even seen an animal as big as these dinosaurs.
Ever.
So it's just like that's another thing. If dinosaurs did exist, why is there not some kind of animal still here today that even rivals the size of what a Tyrannosaurus Rex would even look like, or a Brontosaurus? And all
Right, and what they try to feed us is that these chickens, a chicken.
That's bullshit.
That's so bullshit. You're gonna tell me this chicken is a direct descendant of this T-Rex?
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. Don't fool me with that shit. Is there a reason why a T-Rex bone is auctioned off at $14 million?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason behind why somebody could want to fool somebody behind that to make $14 million? Of course.
Think about it. If people didn't believe dinosaurs were real, Disney would rule the box office right now. Disney had like 7 of the top 10 films. You know the one movie last year that even rivaled a Disney film in the box office?
What?
Jurassic World reboot. The Jurassic movies are the only movies that even make as much money as Disney. So it's just like it's crazy how much money they make off something that's not real.
It's a big farce.
And my thing is, just come out and say it ain't real, bro.
Exactly. I respect it for
I still watch the movies. I like Chris Pratt. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, bro. I would love it.
I like Bryce Dallas Howard. She cute.
She cute.
I watch the Jurassic Park movies. You know, my nigga. Like, the movies are cool. Like, you don't have to lie to me, though. That shit ain't real.
Yeah, you don't have to lie to us, man. You can just be like, hey, man, this white guy created this creative shit. And we kind of fooled you into thinking it for the last 200 years. We're sorry. And just fucking continue doing your shit. But don't fool don't fool us from birth, making us think that dinosaurs are real.
Right. It's crazy. It's like, it's more white people that believe dinosaurs are real than a black person's innocence when they get shot by the police. Isn't that crazy?
Facts, yo.
Isn't that crazy? I can tell you, Trayvon Martin was not violent, or Trayvon Martin was a victim. Oh, I can't believe that. There's not enough proof. But you believe in dinosaurs?
You believe in something that you've never seen, have no proof, wasn't even in your lifetime?
Y'all believe in more dinosaurs than niggas. That's crazy.
Honestly, the dinosaur creativity probably came from the government as well, wanting to fool the masses behind, like, just distract them from the real problems, right? Like, if you're going to be watching, like, dinosaur movies and, like, just consuming your
comments. The homie Stephen Marcus said, we got dinosaur sounds, but ain't no one ever heard one before, though. Who created these dinosaur sounds, bro?
That's so fucking true, man. It's just some fucking another just white guy with money behind his computer.
Like what?
Like what is that? What is that?
And then
and Darren Davis poses a great question. How did they know they were reptiles?
That's a really good. That's actually really good, because that ties in the Yema and Kelly. He says alligators and anacondas are big ass reptiles. They ain't dinosaur big though.
They're fucking like. You know what it is though? Let me tell you something real quick, man. When the fucking person that discovered the first like dinosaur head, that shit was like a piece of like rock, and then he made up the rest of the thing, and then they designed the whole like outer part as like a reptile.
Right.
When I fucking just got my dog like 6 months ago, when she yawns, she looks like a fucking dinosaur. She the teeth on her go from like a fucking square, like a rectangle. You know what I'm saying? They go up and then they go like that. So when I look at her yawn, I'm just thinking like, this is where they got the fucking idea for like the dinosaurs open their mouths so big. It's because they just looked at their dog, and then specifically they looked at a reptile do it. Yeah. It can be like a lizard, a fucking Geico, the little motherfucker from the commercials. Right. They just saw him open his head and were like, oh.
And then a question I always pose is, all right, so not every dinosaur was carnivorous, right? So that means we had these huge reptile creatures that were that weren't carnivores, but they were herbivores. So they're eating foliage, produce, all this kind of stuff. How was the earth reproducing all of that so quickly for these huge beings to eat all the time? I feel like you'd have more deserts, you'd have more problems with growing vegetation and all that kind of stuff. How would they be able to sustain life? Because if these things are as huge as you say they are, is there enough to eat?
Enough resources to eat, And they try to throw at us like, yeah, the oxygen levels were like way crazier back then. That's why they were bigger and
I
shit.
don't believe that at all.
But
man.
like, how do you really know? Because when you really do the research on the carbon dating and like finding out whether how much oxygen percentage was in things tens of thousands of years ago,
Right.
like we can pretend, scientists can pretend that we have like it down to a science. But when you really go into these fucking classrooms, they're telling you like, yeah, it's iffy.
Mm-hmm.
It's iffy at best. So I'm not gonna trust any data that they're trying to push as facts if they themselves already aren't confident in saying that like, all right, it really was this much oxygen
Right.
in the fucking earth. And here's another thing. Look at a fucking dinosaur. Look at a T-Rex. Everybody imagine Jurassic Park T-Rex, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much more fucking body did that motherfucker have than legs in the back? This motherfucker had so much body in the front. He should have been toppled over face down the whole movie.
Right.
And it would have been
It
retarded.
says T-Rexes were within 13,000 to 32,000 pounds.
Get the fuck out of here.
You know how
Look.
much food you gotta eat to be 32,000 pounds? Look,
That's
I got
so
niggas
true.
in my family that's pushing 3 bills and they get kicked out the buffet, bro. They get kicked out the buffet. Niggas pushing 3 bills.
Imagine.
Think of a dude that's 32,000
2,000.
pounds.
He's eating a whole rainforest for dinner and then later on another rainforest for breakfast. When he wakes up.
That's like take like the biggest D lineman in the NFL and put 100 of his stomachs together.
And that's what they're eating on the regular.
On the regular, and so like,
It makes no sense that we're getting pushed this theory that dinosaurs existed when you really think about it, they most likely just weren't around, man. They're a cool idea. They're a real cool idea, man.
because if you think about it, what if you look at a dinosaur's build and what they say it was? What's the difference between it and any other mythical creature that's been created? With our imagination and that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's just that there's been more people to push this to be real than the other ones. Darren, what the fuck are you playing? 803, damn, full video. Damn, he's playing some TLC shit. Rashonda, man, that's fucked up, man.
What is going on?
Darren, why are you playing this, man? We were talking about dinosaurs being fat, not like...
in here killing the vibe. But anyway, like I was saying, that's a lot of food, both
to be consumed.
Both for carnivorous dinosaurs and the herbivores. You know what I'm saying? Because you can flip it on the carnivorous side. There's enough animals for you to eat. Because here's the thing: that's one dinosaur that's 32,000 pounds. He might be the leader of a pack of like 50 of them.
Fuck.
They all gotta eat.
They all gotta eat.
It's not like a pride of lions. Lions are usually like 400 to 500 pounds. It's not like a pride of lions that's going and hunting antelope and stuff like that. These are huge. I mean, they're life size. The thing is, dinosaurs are so big, we really can't even describe how large they are. Like they're skyscraper animals. There's no way.
There's no way that, and then they just made it up to make it like grandeur. They wanted to make it up. They wanted to like boost up the appearance of dinosaurs, and that's why they're like fucking like, oh, they're like all this big and shit. It's like, but how can they sustain themselves if they're that fucking big? You can't. You can't.
And now they're making all this money off Land Before Time and Jurassic Park.
I know, bro.
There was another show that was like it wasn't animation, but they wore like these little puppet suits. It was like a family of dinosaurs. It would come on. That was funny. But I was like, dude, like they're just making more of entertainment than anything.
The whole idea has just been to make money. It's been a big profit scheme because when you really look into it, there's no poor persons out in the whole world that has been finding as many dinosaur bones as all these rich people.
Yeah.
The first person to ever find a dinosaur bone was rich as fuck.
That's hilarious. My homie Nora Perkins just joined the Instagram live. Gotta give a shout out to Nora. Love you, beautiful. Gotta give a shout out.
Hell yeah, Niles out here trying to smash, man. I feel it. I feel it, man. I feel it. I've been with my girlfriend for 9 years, so we straight. But Niles, man,
it's hard out here.
Yo, now before we started the podcast, Niles was also talking about like, yeah, man, Roger, you're gonna have to introduce me to some like some girls out here at CSUN, and I'm like, yo, man, my girlfriend's not gonna like that, bro. And
you can't even be a wingman.
I can't. No, not even that I can't be a wingman. Is that she's gonna be like, wait, you already have a host to introduce him to?
Damn, yeah, bro.
Nah, we can't be doing that. But we can be doing is talking about this dinosaur shit. Because, look, no poor people will have found dinosaur bones as much as all these rich people. Like, there's one There's one like fucking discoverer archaeologist, whatever you call those lying motherfuckers.
They lying.
They lying, bro. They find like 3,000 bones in one excavation, and then they either donate it and they sell it to like all these rich other people who are like, oh yeah, look what I got in my house. And then what he really sold you was a chicken bone, a horse bone, a dolphin bone, a fucking lizard bone, and he combined it together to make some sort of fucking concoction with his imagination. He really sold you his imagination. That's what they're selling us, imagination.
That's good.
They're not really selling us these bones that are real. They're selling us imagination, man. And if you're going to come at with me with like, what about gas? Isn't that all fossil fuels, all that shit? Nah, man. In 1940, the main motherfucker behind gas said, oh, we got tons of this shit. Oh, we ain't never running out of gas.
Yeah.
And then what happens every year? We keep getting fucked by these prices. Why do we keep getting fucked when this shit is this shit is being produced by the earth? This shit is not from fucking past dinosaur bones. Why? Because there weren't fucking any dinosaurs.
That's real. Damn. That's real.
No dinosaurs, man. You know who fucking lose from fucking these oil ventures? All the wildlife in the Gulf of Mexico. They fucking still haven't cleaned up that oil, man. If you're in Veracruz, where it used to be beautiful, right by Mexico City, now you can't even go to that beach without having to find specific spots that don't have oil, man. And that oil is not from the dinosaurs. Don't blame these dinosaurs for that oil. Blame these fucking white people that fucking decided to drill that shit out and pollute the rest of our world.
So I'm reading right here. This guy works in museums. He's debunking like different movies that have used dinosaurs, and he's saying one of the biggest mistakes is like these velociraptors. If they were real, they would actually be the size of like the average turkey. They wouldn't be. So that's another thing. Like they're just doing shit and then not even using like the accurate
measurements for it. Like
right.
Even if they did find it, which they probably just found like 2 of those bones and they made up the velociraptor. But when they did, they weren't like specific with it. They were just like, all right, let's just make it like you just fuck. Ain't that gonna look cool? We can sell it to Pokemon, Nintendo. Right. They can use it as Charizard.
And then here's the thing: this lady that worked with like putting together this stuff for movies basically just said, "Our bad. This is just what we thought they looked like in the '90s." What the heck?
Our bad.
Our bad? Like, you could just say, like, this is what we thought they looked like?
And just recently, as always, they're always finding the new missing link. Everybody's trying to find the new missing link. Yeah, motherfucker, there ain't no missing link. But look, who tried to bullshit us recently? National Geographic, a few years ago, released the new missing link. And when their bones were sent out to other departments to get analyzed, all these other departments were like, yo, this is the combination of a pig, a horse, and like another kind of bone. And then when they confronted Nat Geo, the head researcher at Nat Geo told these other research departments that called them out on their bullshit. Oh, man, well, we're still going to go on with this press conference, releasing it as the missing link. This shit happens all the time. This shit's happening all the time. And then when I do some more research, there's 2 main white guys that fucking have discovered, like, let's say 90% of the dinosaurs we know and love today, right?
Interesting how it's only white guys that discover if dinosaurs are real or not.
It's only because they got the economic means to fucking keep fucking us, because my people have been robbed of our land. Mexicans, man.
We got shit black and Mexican people, we got shit to do. We don't have time to be looking for dinosaurs.
Exactly, man. We're over here struggling to fight the power still, man. That's another thing, man. This whole dinosaur thing has just been a fucking ruse to get us away, to not think about, like, how badly we're getting fucked by the system.
I got a couple more comments from the ladies. Shout out to the homie Erin. She says she misses me. I miss you too, boo. Yeah, that's good. That's good. We getting love from the ladies on this podcast.
Hey, man, I appreciate everybody listening. You know, Niles is out here like fucking guave, suave, smooth, man. I like it.
Trying.
I like it.
I'm trying.
Yo, Niles is making moves out here, man. Y'all, if you ladies are listening to this, y'all gotta get it down now.
Yeah,
got it down now.
Get me up now. Like, I don't get it. Like, in a year or 2, I'm not gonna be accessible. You know what I'm saying?
He's really not, girls. He's not fucking around, and none of us here at Goonsquad headquarters, the second headquarters now, none of us are here fucking around, man. Darren over here is Niles, Darren. I'm being my lady, but everybody's fucking a lot.
Dude, I'm making some big moves, but I'm also still broke and accessible, ladies. I'm still here.
He's still trying to, get taken care of. So, ladies, please hit him up. Buy him a cheeseburger, something.
I love cheeseburgers.
He loves cheeseburgers, and he also, man, every man loves a blowjob, just saying.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So I'm looking right here. So it says right here, Triceratops, and what was the other dinosaur? The Stegosaurus. Most of these dinosaurs, the way they're built, they wouldn't have been very quick. They were very slow. So the Tyrannosaurus was the pursuit predator, it would have been basically the only predator in this dinosaur kingdom. That sounds like some fake shit, bro. It sounds like somebody literally created a story with one villain. So if you have an ecosystem, you wouldn't have one predator out of all the other species. Look at the animal kingdom. You have lions, you have cheetahs, you have hyenas are predators sometimes. You have all these different kinds of animals in the big cat world that are predators. You know what I'm saying? But in the dinosaur world, you have one.
Just one, and
that sounds made up to me.
It's so made up. It's like white people just making up their own story, but in another fucking world of reptiles. Like, oh yeah, we're the king shit in this world too. We're the T-Rex. White people have personified themselves as the T-Rex and sold the rest of us off as like the long neck motherfuckers that just die and shit like that. Like fodder. We are fodder to their fucking bullshit. And you know what? That's why Roger That's here, man, to fucking revolt against the system.
That's crazy. So the Tyrannosaurus Rex, we have discovered, people, is the symbol for the white man in power.
In the reptile world, as some people claim that the Donald Rumsfeld is a reptile, as is a lot of Dick Cheney's reptile. That's another podcast, but...
That's another podcast.
Another
white
podcast.
People are reptiles.
Yeah, white people... But the point is that I just made that conclusion myself, that Tyrannosaurus Rexes are the symbolism for white people in the dinosaur kingdom.
Wow. That makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense, and I came to the conclusion by... you bringing up the point that...
look at Trump's hands and then look at the T-Rex's hands. It's about the same, you know what I'm saying?
It's a direct correlation, man. All these fucking people... It's like the T-Rex has like the short legs of a short ruler that just got into power because he fucking was born into it, and the short hands of a ruler because he's a bitch too. Just like Donald Trump, man.
Just like Donald Trump.
He's a bitch, and he's got little ass hands, and I can't talk too much shit. My hands ain't that big either, but Mayweather has little hands too, and he's 40 and what, bitches? So the point is that, man, they just like saw their little parts and were like, all right, now the body just blow it up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's us, T-Rex. And I swear to God, man, there has been one fucking person that's poor that has made a profit from finding one dinosaur bone. They gave us credit one time to us poor fucking proletariats. Yeah. They gave us one fucking opportunity to make money from fucking dinosaur bones. Mm-hmm. And all these rich people from this country, that country that have millions of dollars to go to fucking start these excavations where they can then, before they even started, plant fucking all this shit. That way when they already excavated, they already found their shit, and then they make hella profits. It's all a business.
It's all a business. So I'm reading right here, it's talking about kind of like body mass and brain size, right? So what they do is, this guy says, for almost anything they do, they base a dinosaur's like living body mass and brain size to that of like reptiles and birds that we have now. But one of the animals that makes this theory not true is the Stegosaurus, who, unlike most of the large dinosaurs, their brain was particularly small for some reason. That's what they just said. Mm-hmm. No facts to back this up. It's just somehow it was just smaller than everybody else's.
So facts. You hear that, folks?
It led to the theory that this dinosaur may have a second brain. What animal has a fucking second brain?
Tell me right now, folks, what animal has a second fucking brain?
There's animals that have two stomachs. I think cows have two stomachs. There's animals that have different kinds of things.
There's an octopus has 8 hearts, but nobody has two fucking brains.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Doesn't make sense.
At this point, they're just making stuff up to try to like keep it like just to keep it people believing. But the shit
the shit they're pulling out of their ass is fucking like dumbfounded.
It's asinine to even believe anything like that. 2 brains.
2 brains, folks. Look, let me tell you something else, folks. How many of you people listening, how many of my beautiful fans listening, have actually seen a dinosaur fossil himself? And you're gonna come at me and tell me like, yeah, I've been to a museum, and you know what? That's cool. No, I have 2, man. The Getty, whatever. I don't really know. I probably haven't seen a dinosaur, but look, I think so. Is the Screwball Center? Darren Davis, the Screwball Center over here on the 405. Did they have dinosaurs? Like I went there, I saw dinosaur bones, right?
You saw dinosaur bones.
But let me tell you, all dinosaur bones in museums are replicas. I'll repeat that one more time. All dinosaur bones in museums are replicas.
That's true.
Nobody but a specific few people in the whole world have ever had the opportunity to actually see a real dinosaur bone and maybe hold it, right?
Yes, that's a select few. They keep that very exclusive.
So out of like 7 billion people we have in the whole fucking world, we're going to trust 20? Get the fuck out of here, all you fucking people trying to fool us, man. Because we're here trying to fucking spread the truth, because that's some bullshit.
That's true. We got another shout out from the ladies. My friend Raquel, she's saying hi.
Shout out to Raquel, man.
Shout out to Raquel. What's up, girl? How you doing?
All right, hell yeah, man.
I'm looking right here. So Tyrannosaurus Rexes, man. If this was actually real, it says their foot speed would be about 16 kilometers.
What's that? That's like fucking. That's barely like 10 miles per hour or some shit.
Yeah. So it's basically saying that a human person could outrun a T-Rex. Yeah. Their top speed was about 16 kilometers an hour. I ran track in high school. That means I could dust a T-Rex. I ran track in college too. Like, nigga, what? 16 kilometers an hour? That's slow as hell, boy.
That's
like,
slow, bro. I didn't make it into the cross country team, and I did better than that.
That's 2 left feet, bro.
That's
so. You're telling me something that big, I'd be able to outrun it in real life? But if you look at all the movies, them dinosaurs be moving like Usain Bolt, bro.
Quick,
moving.
Quick. You saw Chris Pratt? That motherfucker was moving. These motherfuckers aren't walking. I could probably speed walk quicker than a fucking T-Rex. How about that?
Crazy.
You gonna tell me that's real, man? And you know what? The motherfucker that theorized the fucking idea, what was his name again? Or it doesn't matter. The motherfucker was a bullshitter. He was just trying to ride that wave we said initially. And then that's when another person came that solidified his bullshit. The first person to ever find a dinosaur bone, he found like 3 bones that were the size of like fucking 3 chicken bones, right? Literally 3 bones the size of 3 chicken bones. And he said, I have found this dinosaur that this other white guy 10 years before me said was real. The explorer, his name was Ferdinand some shit. You know when they got the name Ferdinand, they're rich as fuck.
I do not know any broke niggas named Ferdinand.
Exactly. I didn't either.
I know broke niggas named Fred.
Fred all day. Ferdinands have money to do these bullshit excavations and have the connects and means to get other people and means to control the world to help them fake that this is real, man. If I was fucking that guy, I would fucking connect myself with the publishers of that time, the New York Times of that time, and be like, help me out, bro. We're going to make bread. We're all going to make bread. Your descendants are going to make bread for the rest of their lives because I'm going to make bread for the rest of my life. Because we're gonna start discovering these dinosaur bones, and we're going to auction them off as $14 million a bone to all these other dumbass people that have also just too much money. Rich people are always trying to fuck other rich people as much as they're trying to fuck us, the proletariat.
The proletariat. Facts. Ooh, this looks good. 10 dinosaur hoax you won't believe we fell for. Let's see what this is about.
There's a lot of shit we're falling for, man.
We're falling for everything.
There's a lot of shit. There's just no credible source. Because, look, man, I've been saying this for a while, that dinosaurs aren't real. And then I've thought about it. People have looked at me like I'm crazy. And eventually I went up on Google and I started doing my research. I mean, I watched the YouTube video beforehand that was very convincing. And that's why I believe it.
YouTube University, baby.
YouTube University. But look, I did my research to solidify what I had fucking learned, right? And then look, you go right now and type in the origin of dinosaurs, and you tell me that shit is easy to find from beginning to now. You tell me that. Because I fucking am good with computers, and I fucking try to look up when it started, who fucking started it. But when you go on Wikipedia or when you go on some other bullshit articles, they just give you, he theorized it, he's the first one that found it.
Wow.
No, let me rephrase myself. They just give you, he theorized it, here's what a T-Rex bone looks like. I couldn't even find online the first fucking person named Ferdinand that I saw in that YouTube video that found actually the first bones, that has those photos online that you can actually see of those first bones. But you can't find an article written about like his fucking like ascension to finding more bones.
That's crazy. Like right here. All right, so back in 1999, National Geographic was pushing an article about this huge fossil they found back in China, right? It was a flying dinosaur. So now they're really fucking with us. A flying dinosaur.
They're super fucking with us at that point.
Okay, flying dinosaur that they said this was gonna be the missing link between birds and theropod reptiles. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so there are some scientists who are starting to air doubts about this animal's authenticity, about if it was really real and all this kind of shit, right? So upon further examination, they said the head and torso were found to be from a fossil bird, while the tail came from a weaned microraptor. That doesn't even make sense. How are you putting bones together from two completely different animals and then trying to sell it as this one dinosaur they said they found in China?
They're trying to sell it off as the missing link.
And so
Everybody's trying to sell off the missing link.
There's so many of these cases back in the day, back in the late 90s, in the early 2000s as well, where they tried to pass off so many of these skeletons as... And so the crazy thing is, they make a big ordeal about the skeleton getting put together, but when it's debunked, that doesn't get as much attention with the media.
Not at all, because as I stated earlier, the first two white guys that fucking found out 90% of the dinosaurs we know and love today, those two white guys, 60 to 70% of their fucking research and discoveries of dinosaurs they found were debunked by other scholars. Other scholars call shit on the 90% of the shit they did and said, out of the 100% of the shit you did, 70 is bullshit from the both of you motherfuckers. Y'all just fucking profited off of your bullshit.
Whoa. Just like you said about rich people fucking each other over. So this is crazy. I just found this. So this place says, once a fossil gets a museum display, it's pretty much set for life. So the staff at the National Museum of Wales, that's in the UK, they decided to clean up its, I don't even know how to pronounce this, it's the Ichthyosaurus. I think I got it right. So they cleaned it up. They had it for over 100 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had already paid for this, had this exhibit for over 100 years. And until they cleaned it, they didn't discover they'd been cheated.
What?
So when they removed the frame and examined more closely, this 200 million year old sea dinosaur that was discovered is actually just two different animal skeletons put together.
It's all put together
They
pieces.
They had a huge lawsuit about this in the UK because basically they had this exhibit for over 100 years. And until they cleaned it. And that's another thing. They ain't cleaning these niggas for hundreds of years. That's nasty, bro.
They ain't cleaning nothing, man. We just getting asbestos from like the 18th century.
My mom told me if you go to somebody's house and they ain't cleaned in a long time, they hiding some shit.
Oh, shit.
They hiding some shit.
Oh, shit. That might be true, man. I just cleaned up my car, man. Feeling a lot better.
So you just feeling better about yourself. You ain't got nothing to hide.
Hey, bro. Fuck yeah, bro. I'm over here fucking like cleaning up my... I had a big mess. But the point is that these dinosaurs aren't motherfucking real.
They're not real, bro.
Over here, Darren Davis is pulled up on the Mac the Mac desktop T-Rex growth size. The stunning centerpiece of this gallery is the Tyrannosaurus Rex growth size, featuring a baby, juvenile, and sub-adult T-Rex. It's the only series of its kind in the world. All right, Dan, what the fuck am I reading, bro?
Oh, this is from the LA County Museum. This is their dinosaur.
Oh, I feels it. So look, Darren has pulled up a page from the LA County Museum, and it's pretty badass, man. But it's a whole lot of bullshit too, man. Look at this like chick on the right hand corner, like excavating and taking care of that. Like, you tell me that's not bullshit, man. Look at that. That bone. It's the spine of a big reptile. You know how they look all badass with like. It's creative as fuck. It looks up as fuck. It resembles our spine. They probably just ganked one of a spine of a reptile. And we're like, all right, make it bigger.
Big shit there. This is all puppeteers. They're doing puppeteers and paleontologists are working with puppeteers now.
Dinosaurs, puppeteers, and the National Geographic and Wales fucking lying to people for the last 100 years. If they have lied to people for the last 100 years, I'm not gonna take any other of anybody's shit for a credible source. That's just a fact to me, man. If you have lied to the people for over 100 years with that dinosaur being fucked up and not really there, then why should I trust any other exhibit you have in your fucking museum?
That's facts.
Why should I put confidence in your fucking museum when it's bullshit, man? I'm not digging this whole like farce that we've been placed over our heads. Release Jurassic Park as a fucking fiction movie. Goosebumps is the shit, bro. Just make it like a Goosebumps. R.L. Stein didn't have to fucking bullshit us. Beetlejuice didn't have to fool the whole world just to think that shit is real, bro.
Wow, in China, these high quality fossils that you can find will sell for tens of thousands of dollars. What are you paying for? You're just paying for a bone.
A bone that somebody just made up and said
You paying,
that's a dinosaur bone.
You're paying more for a bone than niggas do to bone. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. Like niggas
Niles
don't even
Abston.
pay that, I'm with the jokes right now.
Hey.
Niggas don't even pay that much to bone, but you paying
This much for a bone that somebody made up, bro.
Wow, Chinese museums have their own expeditions where they go out to collect, but the bulk of what is collected in China has entirely been dug up by farmers. So they're using basically farm labor to dig up these fossils.
Oh man, the government is planting these fossils for these farmers to believe they are finding real dinosaur bones, so that the whole stereotype and whole misconception and the whole fallacy continues. That look, even the common people are finding them. No, they're not. You motherfuckers have planted them there. Because if they really found them themselves, they would be profiting the most from it. Not you, not the government.
Wow. So here's another thing. So these Chinese farmers who dig the fossils up, they're obviously aware that you'll make more money for more spectacular specimens that are worth far more than like the little bone fragments. So they don't even realize they're faking specimens and combining pieces of different fossils together from different locations. Think, me and you are poor farmers, Roger. I find this one bone on my farm. You find another bone on your farm. Like, hey, let's combine this and say like this is a whole leg or some shit like that. Let's not just say we found a fragment. Now me and you are splitting 10 G's where we probably would have just got like, oh, that's cool.
Just a fucking pat on the back.
It gives people the fact that this shit is so expensive. It's giving people incentive to fake and lie and create these hoax.
It's a big business where they just want our money. Not even our money, really. It's they just want other people who have money.
They're scamming rich people for the most part.
They're scamming rich people. There's many rich people that have a T-Rex bone in their fucking vault in their house, and they're like they show it off every fucking few years when they get company because they're mostly lonely, sad motherfuckers.
They scamming people like the Fire Festival, bro.
Damn.
They scamming rich people like the Fire Festival. Can you talk about that for a second?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. I just found out, man. Let them know now.
Dog, have you watched that documentary on Netflix?
I'm gonna check it out.
Please watch that documentary, bro. Dog, can I just tell you this one little story?
First let them know what the Fire Festival was and who put it on.
Okay, so this rich white dude named Billy McFarland, right?
Billy McFarland.
He had this company where like they had these like little credit cards you give to millennials or whatever, and like if you had the card, you could be a member of the club, go to parties, whatever. He lies to all these companies saying his thing is worth like millions of dollars when in actuality he'd only made like 60 grand. And so
his company wasn't worth dick.
No, and so he used that to lure investors, where he got like over like $27 million to put into this festival.
Whoa, and 27 millions of play money.
And he basically just fucked all the money off, bro. Like he didn't really do what he was supposed to do, and so like they weren't prepared to house all these rich people. They were promised.
Yeah, because it was a concert, right? It was a concert on the. It was like a festival.
The Migos were supposed to be there. Kanye
on this island too, right? So it's crazy.
And so, like, he basically promised, like, all these villas and cabanas and all this stuff, and they weren't. They had, like, little refugee tents. Like,
little refugee tents, and you paid
and so, like,
$300,000.
Probably the craziest thing in the documentary, you'll laugh when you see this. So, they have to feed and give these people drinks, right? They'll die. And so, like, they got into an argument with this one food vendor that was catering because they wanted $6 million for all this shit. They only had $1 million left in the budget, so they couldn't do it. So they're flying in like 180,000 cases of water to this island. You got to get that through customs, bro. You can't. So they basically, the dude at customs said, hey, you got to run us a check for like 170 grand to get this water.
Damn.
They don't have the money anymore. So they have a gay guy that's part of the event staff, and they basically ask him in the most polite way possible to go to the customs office and suck the dude's dick to get the water.
What the fuck?
Isn't that crazy?
That's fucking insane.
Think of that, bro. Like, we're not, if you, gay or not, like, you can't ask somebody this. That's sexual harassment.
That's fucking really prostitution.
Like, it's a funny thing, but it's really sexual harassment. Like, hey, bro, if he was a woman, that shit would have got shut down quick.
Oh, hella quick, bro.
You can't ask anybody to go
suck somebody's
dick to get water. You sucking dick for water, nigga?
Bro, where are your standards at, man? Did he say yes or no? Well,
so here's the thing. He was reluctant, but he was like, I got to do this to make the festival happen. So he says in the documentary, I went there fully ready to suck the dude's dick. But thankfully, the dude was cool about it. And Customs was like, you don't have to do that, bro. And then he let them have the water. That's one thing about being rich and white. People bend the rules for you. And so it's just, when you watch the documentary, bro, it's really, they didn't mean to do it, but it's really a look on white privilege in America, because the fact that this guy got away with so much, scammed all these rich people into giving him money just off being a charismatic white guy. He had nothing to be like. He had nothing to show. He lied about everything. He said something about like, he said something about like he had $2 million of Facebook shares. Don't nobody have $2 million of Facebook shares asking for investment, bro.
That's
he only had
on the real.
$1,500 of Facebook shares.
1,500.
All he did was lie and lie and lie.
He had enough to lie. That's what it was. He had enough to
lie.
Yep.
And so the thing is, he only got 6 years in prison though, even with all that fraud and all that lying.
So if we divide 6 into 27, let's just do it. So he's making $4 million a year in jail. Who doesn't want that?
I want it.
Exactly.
Dog, if I can get away with putting $27 million away, I'll take 6 years in prison.
Bro, they fucking put away this homeless man for 100. This homeless man went into a bank, robbed the place politely, took $100, felt bad, returned it. They gave him 15 years.
What?
This billionaire robbed billions of dollars, gets 6 months.
Bro, that's crazy, man.
How are we gonna do that?
There's kids going to prison for like decades for weed being in their pocket, bro.
For weed, still in Atlanta, and still in places where it's not decriminalized and not even fucking medical. You're still getting fucked for the shit that here in California we take for granted, and it's so nice.
And that's the thing. And so his thing gets made into this cute little funny Netflix thing. And so my thing is, let's even go with this. I'm even on like the rich people that got scammed side. You know, it was funny watching, rich white people cry and all this kind of stuff.
Nice.
But
I dig it.
at the end of the day, they got scammed hard, man. I mean, the general admission tickets were like $12,000.
That's a lot of fucking money, man.
There's some people that spent up to like $200,000 just for this weekend, right?
Yeah, because they had the VIP package.
They had the VIP packages that didn't exist. And so, like, you got all these people. What if somebody goes out there and gets hurt or dies or something like that?
They had no health insurance, no insurance.
So that's the thing. Like, even with, like, people go to prison for manslaughter and stuff like that, because even if it was an accident, why are we not looking at this guy on things like, dude, like, somebody could have really got hurt or really got messed up with this, man. And so I think because he's white, he's rich, all these kind of things, the legal system took it took it real easy on him. Like, oh, he's just this troubled guy that wants to make a difference. They just made a mistake. No, he's a white boy that's never been told no. And
he's getting away with more. It's the sad thing is that most of these judges in fucking the court system are white, and when they look at a killer, they see themselves, they see their grandson, they see their nephew, they see they see their son, they see a little of something that's in their heart in the fucking defendant that should be fucking tried like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
If any of us in this fucking room, Darren, Niles, or I were tried, they would just see it as what we are stereotyped as fucking grimy motherfuckers, but we're out here struggling and working hard, and we don't get any of the fucking credibility or any of the fucking like positivities that these fucking people that have these bullshit privileges have.
The homie Jerome Tennyson made a good point last night. We were at Chaz's chilling, and he was saying how this white guy brings Ja Rule into these investment offices and they take him seriously. He's like, man, if a black dude took Ja Rule at an office to pitch an idea, they'd laugh at you, man.
Laugh.
Ja Rule is corny.
Corny, man.
The
only thing I remember from Ja Rule is when Dave Chappelle made fun of him in that fucking special or that Dave Chappelle show. It was like, oh, man. Nah, man, I don't gotta see what CNN's gotta say. Let me see what Ja Rule's gotta say about this.
Right. They actually put a snippet of that in one of I can't remember which documentary, though, Hulu or Netflix one. But they put a snippet of that Chappelle joke in there because Ja Rule's a joke, man.
I didn't even know who the fuck he was. All of a sudden, he's charging $12,000 a ticket. Like, what? Are you kidding me?
Nigga, I wouldn't pay $3 to watch Ja Rule.
I wouldn't. You couldn't pay me $3. Yeah, exactly.
Like after watching that, I used to kind of feel bad for him. 50 Cent gives him like a real hard time.
Oh, does he, bro? What happened?
They have a beef, and 50 Cent makes fun of him all the time.
Oh, so 50 Cent's a G, man.
After this documentary, I hope 50 Cent has something loaded to roast this dude, bro, because this is hilarious.
You know what? 50 Cent there has been a beef. I just found out about it recently because 50 Cent on Instagram posted a fucking hilarious post saying that, like, hey, Ja Rule, I just bought 150 seats front row of your fucking concert. Ain't nobody gonna be up there.
Yeah, man. I'm glad. I bet 50's glad he didn't buy tickets to Firefest. Is that? I mean, it's just. And here's the thing, though. I will give Billy McFarland one thing. He is a creative. He is a creative dude. That I mean, the fact that like, hey, let's run a music festival exclusively for rich people. Let's create this whole and the reason Fire Festival and the thing sold out. It was a success.
Success.
It was a success until it actually had to happen. So, I mean, it's really like a lens to the culture we live in. Because what they did was they hired like the top 10 supermodels in the world. They got Kendall Jenner, like gave her like $200,000 just to post an Instagram picture about the festival. They had all these. They got 400 influencers, comedians, actors, models, whatever.
Wow, 400.
All post at one time, and a festival where the general admission tickets are $12,000. You don't have any predecessor to this type of festival. Nobody's ever seen it before. But because a bunch of famous people, popular people said, "Hey, I'm behind this. You should do it." All these rich people bought tickets, man.
It's as much as their fault as it is that white person's fault.
And so you see, as a society, is like we're almost slave to, if my favorite person thinks this is a good thing, I should do it. And it really, Fire Festival really played off of people's thoughts and emotions towards that. So
it really showed that we are sheep to the fucking Kardashians, to the Drakes, to the fucking...
all those people are sheep, man. And I think sitting in that airport was probably like really humbling for a lot of those rich people.
Humbling, like, wow.
They've never been through anything like that before. Some of them didn't eat for 2 days.
Wow, man, they've never gone through that.
Nothing.
Never gone through that. If you had enough money to be on that plane, you never gone through that.
Nowhere to sleep, nowhere to eat. Some of the mattresses that went in the tents were soaked because it rained the night before. It was almost like God was like, this is not happening.
Supposedly, the God was just like, all right, man, I've shined on you for a little too long. Here's
time to humble you.
Yeah, time to humble you, and that's why 50% of them killed themselves. Nah, I made that up.
What the fuck, Roger?
Made up facts.
Made up facts, but the dinosaur shit, real as a motherfucker.
But like we said, dinosaurs do not exist.
No, I heard that they did, but they don't.
Yeah, man. Have you figured out a way to like land the plane on this podcast yet?
I want to know what time is it, Jared? Can I get the time on this?
It's 2:33.
Oh wow, man! This has gone longer than I expected. This has been the best Roger That podcast that's come out. Niles, thank you so much for coming.
Me to be on this, man.
I appreciate you, Goon. You're a badass motherfucker, dude. I love you, bro. I love you, Darren Davis, man. I love Lopez. Hell yeah, man. I love all my goons at Channel 310. And of course, I love all you Roger That fans, man. Thank you for sticking through this and listening to the whole thing. I hope you have learned something real good. And just I'm not saying believe what we have said. Like, you can still believe dinosaurs are real. You can still teach your kids that dinosaurs are real. They're still cool to learn, right? But I'm just saying, think about what we said. That they might not be real and they probably aren't real. With that being said, thank you guys so much.
Woo! I was trying to tell you to plug the YouTube channel.
Oh shit, man! Coming back, man. You know what? You were starting off. That's great. Now,
you can just use this as like a promotional ad at the end, and Eric can kind of cut it.
Nah, you know what? We can't do that. But look, Niles, this is what I wanted to do too. This is what I forgot to do. Niles Abston, thank you for coming on Roger That podcast. I appreciate you being here. Do you have anything to plug?
Oh, definitely, man. Follow me on Instagram at the Niles Abston Show. Definitely follow Channel 310 on Instagram, Channel 310 TV. Hit the YouTube channel.
Channel 310, hell yeah, that's all my fucking goons.
Channel. Go check out everything, man. I host a show called Secret Black People Meeting.
One of the best shows on 310.
So fun.
They're all the greatest shows ever. I love everybody's show, but Secret Black People Meeting has that, like, you can learn a lot from it to change the world.
Yeah, man, that's what I try to do. Definitely watch Blunts and Brunch with Arthur Hamilton.
Blunts and Brunch, I've been on it. Like, I love fucking Arthur. I love Blunts and Brunch. If you like getting dug with high, you're gonna love Blunts and Brunch.
For sure.
You're gonna love it. He smokes weed. They drink Cannade, which is like this fucking weed syrup that be mixing foods up during the podcast, and they eat brunch, man. So, and besides that, Arthur's a hilarious comedian.
For sure. Then you got High Tonight Show with Victor Martinez. It's like the Tonight Show
my brethren, my
Vic. You know what I'm saying? You got Small Talk with Lila
Hart. Oh,
I mean, she just posted this episode with this girl who has no arms.
Wow.
And she flies planes, nigga.
Planes.
She flies planes. Like, she's been on Ellen, all that. Lila interviewed her, and Lila was like asking her all these things, and she was saying, flying the plane, like the landing part was the hardest. Duh. There's niggas with hands that can't do that shit. You seen that Denzel Washington movie, Flight? Like when he was drunk flying the plane? Like, yeah, but she does that with her feet. And so that's the type of guest Lila can draw to her show. And then we got the new show, Grow Up, with Chelsea Grow.
Oh, that's great. I love Chelsea Grow as well, man.
Yeah,
She's everybody at Channel 310's got it fucking banging.
And watch Goonsquad.
And watch Goonsquad. We just fucking released a whole episode on YouTube. Goonsquad episode 1. It's like 45 minutes of sketch comedy at its motherfucking finest.
Hell yeah. Thanks for having me on, Raj. I appreciate it.
Goonsquad. Hell yeah, man. Hey, man, this is family here. Everybody listening, you're family. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's gonna be a good ass episode. When she
That's a fucking.
Did you cut everything together, bro? You cut it. You can move things around.
That shit was hilarious too. Wait, let me just.
When you play that "Why You Lying" shit,
that was fucking funny, dude. I love that.
I'm just over here, just scroll, trying to get in that. So what we about to do?
I need to get this cash out of Chase.